I think one of the things that we don't talk about enough and that warrants further discussion is women who stalk other women and especially online and who crash out over other women. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist, and there's an ever growing phenomenon of women who have parasocial relationships with other women, right? And they look at these women and they start to escalate in terms of the deviant thoughts that they have towards women that they don't even know, but they feel like they know. And so every accolade, every look, every hairstyle, every, no matter what it is, that the woman is doing, that she's sort of monitoring online, it just causes her to spiral out of control. And this is something that I've seen with girlfriends, wives, ex-partners, ex-friends, mothers and sisters even, or people who don't even know the other person at all but feel like they do, right? And they start attaching all of these negative labels. Oh, she's a bitch, she's this, she's that, she thinks she's better, she's trash, and oh, she did this today and she did that. Look at how stupid she is, and on and on. And the negativity just continues to escalate without anything from the other person's side. And the other person, a lot of times, is um, they're very unaware of what they're dealing with, and that's why you have to be very careful online, because you have people that have these distorted versions of reality, but they're acting it out with you, and you have no idea how grandiose this person is, how hateful they are, and how this person actually may even want to hurt you online. And in their you may be coming on sharing things with like your audience and your people, your tribe, and this person is legit like planning your demise, or they're wishing for your downfall. And the other really interesting thing that can happen with women, that I've seen a lot, is that they can start to compare themselves to you, the way that you look, how you have your hair, what you have on. This used to be something that happened quite a bit when I worked with female inmates. Female inmates, they would try to price your outfit. How much did you pay for that? And they would go and look it up online, and you spent X amount of dollars on these shoes. They're ugly, but you paid a pretty penny for them, or something along the lines, like, right there, where they're just like comparing and trying to obtain, or either say, well, what I've got is better than what you've got. So this happens a lot with women, or that makeup that she's wearing, or that outfit, or how she has her hair and use that weave, and what's going on there. How does her home look? Oh, does she go somewhere else today? How does she afford to have what she has? Is she prostituting herself out? That's something that I hear, or that I've heard women say about other women, where they're just sort of grasping at straws, and their negative reality is just trying to make anything fit, and say that you're not as successful as you are, you're not as smart as you are, you don't have as much income as you have, or you're fake flexing. That's what the young people say. And so there's all these different versions of, like, you're this, you're that. The other thing will be like your lifestyle, just sort of what you're exposed to, what you have access to, the type of person that you're with in a relationship, and how you, excuse me, how you may have acquired that person. My hair is wanting to do something else today. And it can just get really sick, in terms of just the level of crashing out. And it can actually become quite scary, And I think even with online stuff, women try to create fake accounts, accounts that duplicate yours, all this other kind of stuff. Mental illness can definitely play a huge part. Sometimes substances are on board, but sometimes it's just good old fashioned plain envy, especially. When there's a common denominator. So if both of you have a partner in common or something like that, or if your family, and you're related in that way, but or success, you have something that they covet, whether it be success, beauty, those sorts of things, and you never know. It could actually be someone that's your BFF. It could be your sister. It could be your mother. It could be people that are very close to you, and you have no idea that they're crashing out the way they are. Another way that this could show up is in colleagues. So people who are in the same profession as you. I've experienced this to a certain degree where you have other therapists that come on and you're not that great of a therapist and I do this and I do that. It's kind of like this one-upsmanship or this competitiveness, which is fine. Everybody's got their own unique style and their personalities and things like that. But you have people, once again, that you don't even know that want to compete, that want to come on your platform, or either make a separate video and things like that and show that they're better than you and how stupid and incompetent you are. And just, again, sort of spew this stuff out to their followers. And, again, you don't know a person's level of disturbance. So let me know if you guys have seen this, but I'm seeing it more and more, just where women are crashing out, where women are mocking other women. They're threatening. They're very menacing. They're very grandiose, over the top. They're just spiraling out of control. And it's clear that there's something else going on. But there can also be a flavor of dangerousness to it. So let me know if you guys have seen this, experienced this, and whatnot. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Thanks so much.